Gonna go on the block with the meat pack here. Talk about a little bit of this b-ball action, basketball Jones on them. Got a couple stories to talk about. Then we're gonna kind of just break down these conferences going on, what this playoff picture is about to look like. A couple things I want to talk about though. First is we got some story stuff coming out with this man LeBron James about publicly saying this whole play-in rule thing and whatnot, and how that works. You know, he said some shit about whoever started this needs to be fired and whatnot. When, I mean, we have receipts of him last year saying that this was a great idea. You know, let these teams at the bottom, if there's these couple teams, let them play the last games against each other and battle it out for that play-in spot, to make things more competitive, give more teams the incentive to not want to be bad, I guess, try to make a playoff run. I mean, they've done great things with how the draft works to stop teams from kind of tanking. And now they've turned around and done this thing where they're giving teams like I said, an incentive to want to make the playoffs. And then, you know, he's probably saying this because the Lakers seem like they're going to be in that spot. They're kind of the role they're going down right now, being this play-in game. But I think it's a good idea. I mean, I don't mind the idea at all. It's obviously new. Players aren't going to feel the same, but I think that's good for the league to have some of these teams down here at the lower bottom half be able to be competitive. The Memphises and stuff. I mean, think of like Phoenix and stuff last year. Like they'd had a couple more games and been on the roll they were. Maybe they were a playoff team, you know, they kept making it. So, I mean, LeBron James being the kind of face of the league and whatnot, you know, for his whole career, I think to say that after he has publicly said he endorsed the whole idea, I mean, I don't know. I think it's a good idea. I like it. I don't know what you think, but I like the play-in games.
Yeah, I like it as well, actually. I think it's a great way to bring more publicity to those lower market teams that exactly like what you were just saying. I mean, let them play. Maybe they are able to get on a run and clinch a playoff spot through that. So that's hype. As far as like LeBron goes, I mean, I think he's just mad as fuck because they might have to play in it.
Like, I have to play in it.
You know what I'm saying? But I think overall for the league's like health, I think it's a great idea. I mean, the NBA is constantly evolving, constantly trying to try new things, and this is just part of that. So if it doesn't work, you'll never see it again. But you know, I think it will work.
I think it'll work. I think it'll be good for sure. Some other news we got though. This man, I want to talk about something real quick. This man, Russell Westbrook. This man, Scotty. So what is it? It's going to be 4 out of 5 years. If Russell Westbrook right now starting didn't score a single point, rebound, or assist for the rest of the season, he's going to average a triple-double.
Still, that's
4 years out of the last 5. And, I mean, that's a huge accomplishment. That's not everybody does that. I mean,
no one does that.
The first year he did it, it was obviously the biggest thing in the world. And then I feel like it's dropped off because of how consistently he does it. Like, but I don't think people realize how hard that is to do, to average a triple double. And Russell Westbrook, for him to do it 4 out of the last 5 years. And his coach, I know the Wizards are obviously make a push. Yeah. And, you know, maybe they can do something. This man, Scotty Brooks, though, head coach, you know, former coach for him in Oklahoma. Dude's got some credibility. Scott Brooks got to a finals with that team, but said Russell Westbrook to him is the second greatest point guard of all time behind Magic Johnson, which, I mean, listen, here's my thing. Magic Johnson is untouchable. Magic Johnson's got 5 championships, 3 finals MVPs, 3 regular seasons MVPs.
50 awards away. Let's talk about the play.
At 6'9", Magic Johnson changed the league forever. With Giannis wouldn't exist, Ben Simmons wouldn't exist, Luka wouldn't exist without Magic Johnson. For a dude that's not 6'3" to be able to handle the ball and create plays. I mean, he played on a phenomenal team, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, James Worthy, and whatnot. But Magic Johnson set that precedent for what it's supposed to be. To be a point guard. Now, he was never a great shooter, but he's probably the best playmaker of all time, best passer of all time, easily. Yeah. So, I mean, I think Magic's off the table. I think the championships, the personal accolades, and the team awards. I mean, I think he's off the table. Now, listen, I'm not saying he's wrong about Russell Westbrook. My only thing is, where's Steph Curry in this argument? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I can't put Russ above Steph.
I agree with that. But
if anyone's the second best point guard, it's got to be Steph Curry. Man's got two MVPs, first ever unanimous MVP, three championships. I mean, listen, I love these. Russell Westbrook might be the hardest player, like hardest working, like never gives up on a play.
Sure.
I don't think you'll ever see that again. That dude is built different breed. I love me some Russell Westbrook. He's going to go down as an icon. I mean, the triple doubles and all that. I mean, he's a phenomenal playmaker. To get like 20 rebounds, 20 assists, being like 6'3", bro, that's not easy to do. But
no, for real. And like, I think a really good point too is to just kind of look at this a bit more objectively, just based on their play versus like their accolades. Because I mean, Russell Westbrook is never going to get the rings like that. He's never going to get the MVPs like that. Again, I don't think again in his career. So, I mean, looking at just their base play, though, I mean, the way Russell Westbrook hits the court is just, you don't see anyone just go 110 miles per hour like he does.
No,
I mean,
never.
Like, no one even compares to that. So I understand. Like, I mean, we're talking point guards all time. I mean, he's definitely in the conversation.
Luckily,
you know, top 5, top 10, we could probably make some arguments. But top 2, you know, you can't do my man Steph like that. That's
top 5 for sure. You know, Isaiah Thomas is in that conversation. You know, Allen Iverson and Russell Westbrook. You could mend those around, but Magic Johnson, Steph Curry.
No, it's just different.
Maybe by the time he's done, Russ is up there. You know, maybe.
And I don't want to take anything away from dude. Russell Westbrook's incredible. I mean, he just makes basketball games fun to watch. Like he's a beast on the court.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a good little discussion. All the love to Russ Westbrook, though, for sure, man. We're not going to see too many.
He could literally sit down the rest of the season, finish with a triple double average. Like, that's crazy.
20 and 20 the other night. That's insane. I mean, the Wizards are playing decent ball right now. You know what I'm saying? I know they're sitting at the 10th seed right now, but they're only 5 games back from being 500. So I mean,
again, shooting back to this play-in tournament. Wizards, man. I mean, hey.
Yeah, it kind of stinks, but for sure. Well, let's transition to that. I know you got some stuff you wanted to break down what these conferences are looking now.
Yep. So we're going to get into a little bit of power rankings, but before we do that, we are missing one thing here, brother. We got to talk about Carmelo Anthony just became 10th all-time scoring. I mean, just absolute legend of the game, Hoodie Mello out here. I mean, got to give the man props. I think in the past 5 years, everyone kind of just was down on Carmelo Anthony, kind of thought he was bad, you know, et cetera. But he's still out there in Portland right now, and he is cooking, brother. So, I mean, I love Carmelo Anthony. Shout out.
Carmelo, man. That's awesome to see. Dude's obviously one of the best scorers of all time. And you know, 2-3 years ago, everyone was counting him out when he left New York. A lot of people saying, you know, if this guy can't do his role as a bench player, this and that, and there's no place for him in the league. And
he's not a bench player, bro. It's Carmelo Anthony. Like,
I would agree. Now, I think so. Yeah, I think he's found a perfect role for himself in Portland.
For sure.
Obviously, you got Dame and CJ who are going to get the touches, and then Carmelo can average you a nice, cool 12, 15 points a night. And I think the past couple of years, Carmelo Anthony has realized that. He's like, listen, I'm not going to get 28 a night anymore. It's just not in the wheelhouse. The play. He's very pick and pop type of player. He's the kind of one of the last breeds of
cleanest footwork of shooters in the league. My opinion.
For a small forward, dude. The footwork is insane. That step back, that turnaround. I mean, dude's nasty in the post with it, and that's been his game. But we've seen the league kind of evolve to where it's either dunks and lobs or 3 points. I'm not saying he's not a 3-point shooter.
But he'll make you touch the earth without moving his left foot. Like he'll just do it to you. He's
just definitely, he's been that mid-range killer. I mean, in New York, that was his game. He's going to post you up, back you down, and shoot a wet one right in your face. And I mean, awesome from him to be in the 10th all time. Hopefully you can ride it out for a couple more years. Would love to see him win a championship. He's obviously in that conversation with Barkley and Malone and Iverson to be, the greatest player ever to not win one. But I mean, unfortunately, not every great player is going to be able to win a championship. But
just not how it works, dude, especially when you play on the Knicks during your career.
Yeah, it was a solid team back then, but, Knicks sitting at 4 right now, so.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into that. We're going to talk about the top 5 teams, each conference here, East and West. West, obviously going to go ahead and start out in the East here. So this number 1 spot, I mean, the East is very, very much tighter in games versus the West here. So coming in number 1 right now, we got the 76ers. They're 44-21, obviously with a clinch playoff spot. Number 2, we got the Nets 1 game away. 1 game, 43-22, obviously another clinch playoff spot here. And then, right there with them has been the Bucks all season. Right now, they're 3 games behind Brooklyn, at a 40 and 24. Right. So, I mean, between those 3, it's really just kind of been a race for number 1. It kind of seems like the Bucks are falling out of that a little bit. They're just kind of, and I'm saying falling out of it a little bit. They're 3 games behind. So, they're right there. Shit could still happen for sure. But obviously, I want the Sixers to do it to them here. I would love to see them get that number 1 seed. But just finishing up real quick, number 4 seed, we got your own, the Knicks, dude, killing it this year. Having an incredible season right now, sitting at 37-28. And then 1 game behind them in the 5th spot, we got the Hawks sitting at 36-30. So, this is, like I was just saying, very close conference here. And even as a Philly fan, man, it's kind of insane that Brooklyn is not sitting at number 1 right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see them, start to pull away here these last couple of games. I think they really realize how important that number 1 seed is in the East here.
Yeah. Definitely to a degree. This is definitely the weaker conference of the 2 for sure. I think at least between the Sixers, Nets, and the Bucks would have no problem seeing those last 3-4 teams. But I don't know. The more I think about it, Sixers go ahead and get the number 1 spot. That's fine. Listen, I don't want to see the Nets in the playoffs. I don't care what they're at. I can't. Like I said, the Sixers matchup maybe be the only one I'm concerned about. My only thing is, I don't know if the Sixers get there, brother. I don't know. Something's turning on me, man, to where I just think in the past couple of years, Doc Rivers' track record, I don't see him making it past the second round.
That's my hopes. My goal is to make it to the second round of the playoffs. We do that, I'm happy as a fan. Obviously, I want more, but dude, no. I want to see that happen.
This is championship or bust to me with this team right here, dude. There's no way. This is year 4 or 5 of Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid. Now is the time, bro. You got to get that chip for
Hey, and they're right in there. They're sitting at number 1. Yeah, it is close contention here with these games, but they might fucking do it. All right, bro.
They might fucking do it. The Nets, like you said, that's scary firepower. I like the 76ers from a matchup standpoint. I just don't know if they can match that firepower. I do like the Bucks matchup too for the Nets. I think that the Bucks got the size, and I think 76ers do too. I like both those teams on defense to be able to go up against the Nets. Still would not sleep on the Bucks though. I know they do not have sort of the star power that the Nets have, and Giannis and Chris Middleton. I would argue Embiid and Simmons is a better 1-2 punch. But I still, you know what I'm saying? The Giannis still has a lot to prove. I know he's got a couple MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year, but now is really the time that Giannis needs to go Kobe on him, bro. He needs to go MJ. He needs to go 0 dark 30 and prove I'm not, just no regular season player. I can get shit done in the playoffs and make a run. Now, the Knicks sitting at 4 there. Listen, I don't know if anything. I think I'm not going to say this year was a fluke 100%. They're playing hard ball. Tom Thibodeau, these guys playing hard ball. I just think this is, I think they do get bounced in the first round. If they got to see one of these teams, I can maybe only see them getting maybe a game off of them, but that's nothing to take away from them. I think we have a great foundation going. I think this is going to be great for free agency, and too, a lot of these stars around the league are going to start. Think, bro, you want to be in that New York market. Players want to be in that New York market. It's just when you got a shitty team, that's a hard offer. That's why all of them went to Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Because that was just a bigger they already had a better foundation of a squad. So maybe during the offseason, teams look at this Knicks squad and what they're building. Big shout out Julius Randle, though, bro. I think low-key bottom tier conversation for fucking MVP, bro. Definitely the most improved player.
Most improved without a doubt, dude. He took the team over. He literally runs that team.
I don't know if he's going to ever be a superstar like that.
He is right now, bro.
He is right now. He would make the all-time greatest number 2. But you know what I'm saying? You put a Kawhi Leonard or something on this team, brother. Shoot. Shout out RJ Barrett. Them boys playing hard, bro. The Hawks.
They're super young too, though. So shout out Knicks. And then also just real quick, New York sitting at number 2, number 4 here. Let's eat that up right there. Talk about bringing some money. So let's get to these Atlanta Hawks, dude, who honestly, sitting just a little bit above 500 here, 36-30. I thought they were going to win more games this year. I'm not going to lie. I do know their bench is hurting. They're not really that don't have too much depth. But, Trae Young and the boys are just wetting it up, dude. And Trae Young really came into his own this year. He mastered how to get all these foul bullshits. And he's just a point shot up shooter. Dude gets buckets.
He gets buckets, bro. Yeah, I like the makeup of this team. I'm flying here. kind of the same boat as the Knicks. I like I said, I don't think they're ready now. They're obviously playing good. They're plus 500. They're in the playoffs right now. So, I think they got a good foundation. They got 4 or 5 really young guys. Boban Bogdanovic is a nice young stud. John Collins playing great. So they got the squad. If they keep this team together and just keep learning how to mend together and play, and Trae Young goes and gets his 30 a night, Hawks might be dangerous here for the next couple of years.
100% agree. I don't think this is their year, but possibly next 1, next 2, next 3. Look for them to make a run here. So let's go ahead and move over to the other side into this Western Conference. And these top 4 teams, again, very, very tight contention. So coming in number 1, we got the Utah Jazz, 47-18, clinched a playoff spot. Number 2, 1 game behind, we got the Suns, 46-18, again, another clinched playoff spot. And then a couple game drop here, 3-game difference between number 2, number 3 here. We got the Nuggets coming in number 3 at 43-22. And then literally with the same record right now, we got the Clippers sitting at 43-22. Clippers do have a clinched playoff spot because they're division. And then obviously Lakers coming in number 5 spot, Western Conference, 37-28. But so let's just start top, go down here. I mean, Utah Jazz, dude, Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell have just been unstoppable. Like, honestly.
Yeah, no, they honestly look phenomenal. I just don't, you know what I'm saying? This is a great regular season.
It's another depth problem for me. 100%.
Definitely the depth. But like I said, to me, this reminds me of just a team where, obviously you got 2 great players in Mitchell and Gobert there. But other than that, I mean, I think they definitely need a third guy. I think they definitely just have great rotation piece guys. So, I would account they do have good depth just because of their record. I mean, for sure. But like I said, come playoff time, man, I feel like it's just going to be a different story. I really want this team to win. It'd be great. Utah's always been a pretty solid franchise as far as record and being in that conversation in the West. Just never just been able to get over that hump. But I don't know. I'm not saying I don't think Donovan Mitchell doesn't have that next level in him or Rudy Gobert. I just think it's going to come down to firepower at the end of the day.
Fair enough.
2, 3, 4, 5. I just don't know if the Jazz are going to be a match that. They took a great advantage of this regular season. Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert are going to be around for a minute.
Yeah.
Great 1-2 combo. And I'm definitely happy to see them be there. Just, I don't want to sound like a hater. I don't know. I don't know if I see them making no finals appearance.
I 100% agree. I don't think they make the finals. Moving on down to this number 2 team, we got the Phoenix Suns. And hey, man, ever since the bubble, I mean, they just been balling, dude. So, I mean, obviously, Devin Booker, Chris Paul acquisition was huge. DeAndre Ayton, huge. Mikal Bridges, my boy Dario Saric. I mean, they're just putting up points, dude, and they're just doing what needs to be done to win games. I mean, Phoenix Suns are just playing good basketball right now.
Yeah, and people, man, I think people need to realize this man, Devin Booker, obviously being in that Phoenix market, it's a little quieter and whatnot. If he was anywhere else, if Devin Booker was in New York, he'd be the biggest superstar ever. I mean, this dude is cooking up on a nightly basis, and it's taken us till about this year to finally kind of recognize what's going on over there in Phoenix. And obviously, this core team has been together now for a couple of years, and they really only just kind of took Chris Paul, a real winner, a real leader, to come in here and show these boys how to win some basketball games. And, that's just what they've been doing so far. And like I said, I got them in the same boat with the Jazz. Great regular season. They're going to be good from here on out. They'll be in as long as Booker and Ayton and stuff stay there. I don't know if they get over that hump. Maybe. I'd love to see Chris Paul put some jewelry on his finger.
Definitely 100% deserves it, dude. I mean, it's Chris Paul, another legend of the game here. Moving on, we got the Denver Nuggets. And, I mean, obviously, Joker is just leading this team here, but you cannot count out Jamal Murray having a huge season, Michael Porter Jr. having an insane season. And then, obviously, dude, they just acquired Aaron Gordon. We low-key called that, so shout out us. They got the boy Austin Rivers pulling up, shooting some threes when they need him to. And, they're just winning games again. I think this team is very similar in a way to the Suns, where they're just doing exactly what needs to be done to win these games. They're not blowing teams out, but they're getting W's consistently.
I mean, yeah, you kind of just said it great right there. I mean, like, Joker literally is just handling that business. Jamal Murray been in and out this year and whatnot. But I mean, this team's great. Like I said, it's really kind of star heavy just with Joker and whatnot, but I think his team's just got solid bench. Guys know their role, great coaching. They've been together for a couple of years now. It's finally just starting to gel perfectly. And honestly, I mean, I could see the Nuggets making that run. We saw them beat the Clippers last year in that series. I think we could do it again. I mean, Joker is not an easy matchup, man. He's a unique player. That's why he's probably going to be MVP.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, again, with just the Suns and the Nuggets, I think it comes down to if they can get on a run, get hot at the right time, and be able to get it done. So moving on here, I mean, and the Clippers right now are sitting at 43-22. And, with that record, it's not really fair to call them a dark horse team. But I just feel like people aren't talking about the Clippers like that. And they got a squad, dude. I would not be surprised to see the Clippers in the finals this year. I mean, they could do it, bro. They have an incredible team.
Yeah, I just track record of maybe not Kawhi, but just the team kind of around them not being able to get it done in the playoffs. Yeah. I mean, last year in the bubble was the ultimate meltdown between Kawhi and Paul George. And I mean, Paul George been kind of low-key doing that his whole career. And I think they got great depth, great defense, between PG and Kawhi.
One of the best depths in the league, honestly, bro. Honestly.
Might honestly be the best. And that's obviously why they're in the position they are. So, I mean, I definitely see them getting there. They can get there. I think they can meet a team in the Western Conference. I think if, we're talking a 7-game series between the Nuggets and the Clippers. I don't know. But
that's a good series, though.
It's definitely a good series. That would be great basketball to watch for sure. They can get it done. They got a good squad. Kawhi needs to be Kawhi. Paul George really, playoff P. For some reason, that became his nickname, and I don't think he's ever really earned that.
Fair enough. I mean, they do have Rondo now, too, coming off a championship with the Lakers. I mean, that's gigantic. I think that's a huge piece that does help this Clippers team hopefully push it, further into the playoffs here. So let's go ahead and finish off then here with the Lakers. Again, sitting at 37-28. We're talking about pretty much half the season without AD, without LeBron, still managed to be the 5th spot in the Western Conference. And we've been saying it since they lost their first game. Just wait until they're in the playoffs. They're going to start destroying. So, I mean, obviously the goal here for them, just make it to the playoffs, make sure our stars are healthy when we're there. And, I don't know, dude. This team could be sitting at number 6 spot and probably still make a run. I mean, it's the Lakers.
Yeah, definitely. I've said on here multiple times now, just not really worried about them. Just LeBron James in the playoffs, and I still think they got a good squad. I mean, between Schroeder and Caruso and
Trez, bro, they got a squad. Bro.
They got a squad. They got depth. They got good players. Now it's just ride these last games out. You got LeBron and AD fully bagged, so let them get a week or two of getting back and playing with each other. And come playoff time, man, everything's off the table. I don't know. I don't see too many teams. Because, I can see, between the Nuggets and the Clippers, being able to stop, AD or LeBron. But there's another guy left. You're going to have to – there's 2 of them. There's 2 freaks on that team that you're going to have to be able to stop. And I don't know too many teams that will be able to do that in a 7-game series.
100% agree, dude. I mean, it's hard not to predict that the Lakers are going to dominate in the postseason.
Finals prediction right now.
Finals prediction, dude. Sixers versus Clippers. Sixers win in 6.
What the fuck? No way.
You heard it.
I got Lakers, Nets.
Okay.
Nets in 4. Nets in 5. Nets in 5.
Yeah, I think mine's a little bit better, but
it's just wrong. But sure. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the meat pack is out. You fuck out of here.
Perfect.